Good morning, parents. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here with us this morning. Welcome to our mission Progressing Together for the month of September. My name is Flor Sanchez. I'm the District Parent Liaison for San Elizario. Again, parents, welcome for being here with us this morning. We have a lot of information that we would like to share with you all this morning. But before we do so, I want to introduce Ms. Blanca Cruz, our Associate Superintendent. She'll be sharing some announcements with us this morning. Dr. Mesa couldn't be with us this morning, but she sends her regards to our parents being present this morning. Ms. Blanca?
Thank you, Flor. Good morning to all of you. Thank you for being here this morning. This beautiful Wednesday in September, right? Can you believe it's September? I can't. Ya it's Christmas. So my name again is Blanca Cruz. It's a pleasure to be here with you today. As Ms. Flor mentioned, Dr. Mesa couldn't be here. She's actually out of town this morning. But I do have some announcements that I want to start with today. So the first announcement here has to do with our board meeting. That will be on September 16th, 2025 at 5:30 p.m. in this same room. So that'll be for our next board meeting. We also have early release for all students on Friday, September 26th. So just make sure you check with the campuses regarding the time out for elementary and secondary, and I'm sure during our Q&A we can give you a little bit more information as to what those times are going to be. We have fall intercession. Again, I can't believe we're there already. Starting September 30th through October 10th. That's our intercession, right? We know that first week, some of our students do come to school. If you're in that situation or your student is in that situation, you will know from the school as well. We have voter registration deadlines in person and by mail. Those are due October 6, 2025, so just make sure that you keep an eye out for those. And we have also a request, if you can please make sure that you update your parent information, your cell phone number, your contact person, your emergency contact. That's so crucial for us as sometimes things happen and we're looking for you. So it's great to have right information, updated information for you all. And then, of course, we'll have our next Mission Progressing Together in October 2022, so 22nd. So we'll see you here in the same room in October. As far as our parent-teacher conferences, those are coming up as well. So I'm going to be starting with GEMS. That'll be on Tuesday, September 9th at the middle school. Then we have the high school on Thursday, September the 11th. And then we have our elementary campuses, Alarcón and Borrego, on October 21st. And Loya Primary in Zambrano, October 23rd. So you have those dates also up on the screen. Just make sure you plan and you join us to visit with your teacher and your principal at the school. So we'll be happy to see you there. Before I introduce Ms. Jula, our high school counselor, who's going to be giving us great information, I do want to go over some percentages of attendance. We know that our district goal is 96% attendance, right? We want to make sure that out of 100 students, 96 are in attendance. So as a district, that's what we do. We want to make sure that we hit that number because when we're in school, we learn, right? So we always have a healthy competition, and I'll tell you who's in the number one spot, and it'll surprise you. So we have Borrego at 96.04%. And then we have the middle school with 95.9%, almost there. Lorenzo Alarcón, 97.19, so they're exceeding our 96% goal. Then we also have Lorenzo Loya with 97.22, and this is the first place winner right here. Our Little Eagles are ahead of everybody else, right? So that's neat to see, 97.22 for Lorenzo Loya. Then we have Zambrano at 95.08% and our high school at 94.70. So as a district, when we add everything up together, we're at 95.62. So we're really close to the goal as a district. We know as campuses, we're a little bit short in some of them, but we're close. So thank you for sending your students to school every day and for taking care of them. And an announcement on this and attendance, just want to do a commercial for our project Vida, our clinic within our school at Borrego Elementary. So if anybody's feeling a little bit sick, you know that the clinic is within the school, so you don't have to go out to the doctor's office. You can just have services right there, right? So that helps us because sometimes it's an easy fix. They'll go have their appointment virtually with a professional, and then they come back to class. if they can, right? We know that there's situations where they can't, but we really, really try to take advantage of that. So with that, I'm going to pass it on to Michelle Jula. She's our fearless high school counselor, and she's going to give us some information regarding our senior checklist. So welcome, Ms. Jula.
Thank you, thank you. I'm Michelle Jula. I am the senior counselor at the high school. So let's talk about what your child needs for graduation. First, they need 26 credits. It is a specific credits. Their endorsement, we have 5 EOCs that state it's the English 1, the English 2, the algebra, biology, and U.S. history that they must pass. And of course, the attendance, the 90%. They need to fill out their financial aid forms or an opt-out form. They go through CPR training and they go through peace officer training. So with those 26, there's 2 parts when you're looking at a transcript. There's the fall and the spring semester, the grades. They must average out to a 70 when they're together. All right, let's discuss what exactly the classes are. For English, they need English 1, English 2, English 3, and they either will take English 4 or college English. For math, they take algebra, they take geometry, algebra 2, and then pre-cal or college math. For science, they take biology, chemistry, physics, and then a 4th science. At our campus, we offer forensics, anatomy, physiology, AP biology, astronomy, and aqua science, and patho if they're on a different plan. For social studies, we have world geography, world history, U.S. history, and then government economics. Everybody needs to take 2 years of language. At Sanelli High School, we only offer Spanish. They do take a year of PE, so they either have PE or their athletics will count as PE or junior ROTC. Then we have the required electives, which are the communications and, I guess they're not technically electives, communications and dollars and cents. Then you have your endorsement and electives to make up the other portion. The endorsement is 4 credits or higher, like cosmetology is 7 credits. So it just depends on which program they're working on. And the rest are electives to make up the 26 plus credits that they need to graduate. So every senior's been given a transcript with notes on it. It either says on track because they don't owe anything, or it might have a circle like they need to retake EOCs or they need to retake a class, but all of them have been given that. So they know what they already need to make it for the end of the year, and courses that they need that they've failed as well. We are not ready for the 9 weeks to be over yet. Unfortunately, your teacher-parent conferences are before our 9 weeks ends. So you're going to get just an idea of where they're at, but nothing's set in stone yet because the 9 weeks ends right before intersession. Once we come back from intersession and grades are inputted, then the students that have a failing grade, I will give them a paper with everything on it that they need to make the second 9 weeks. So you must have a 70 or higher to pass, but let's just say that that first 9 weeks they ended up with a 62, so which is a failing grade. It's not the end because they have the second 9 weeks then to bring their grade up, and they need a 78 in order to credit average to a 70. But once those grades are inputted for the first 9 weeks, I will pull your students and let them know and give them the paper that have all the information for them. Once the semester is done, then again we'll come back in January, and if they have failed a class and they need, it's too low and they need to retake it, or they need to make sure, so let's just go back, the semester grade is a 58. That means second semester they must get an 82 to credit average for that class. If we already know they're not going to do that, I already start them on the A+ courses, which is our credit recovery. STAR testing, as I said, 9th grade year, English 1, biology and algebra. Then their sophomore year, they'll take English 2, and 11th grade year, they have U.S. history. Those students that are seniors this year that need courses that they, EOC, sorry, that they failed, they have already been given the paperwork that they're in danger of not graduating. It has which EOC that they need to take, and I know that we're discussing, and more information will come before the intersession of the times for extra help for those EOCs that they failed. They must pass all 5. So on that paper that I gave the students, it also has the dates of the testing in December and then the ones in the spring. Seniors, on the other hand, the spring, if they haven't passed in the fall, those ones that they needed, the state allows you to do an IGC for 2. So they must pass 3, but then they have 2 that they can do a project. The project is a lot of work. The project is the kids staying after school, coming on Saturdays, working. We have Miss Polito and Miss Morales that really work with the students to get this project done. But they have to present it in front of a committee that the parents are involved in as well. So I know this past year, because AI is so big now, that a lot of them used AI, so they weren't able to finish in time and had to graduate in the summer. So we really encourage kids to be doing their own work, okay? You'll get a letter for that in the spring if that's where your child's at, but if your child, again, is in already like afraid that we aren't going to pass, they have been given that information and have signed for it already. Okay, attendance is huge. There is a state law that the state of Texas has passed that students must be here 90% of the time. We are a 4-day school week, so we don't have extra absences like other school districts do because they meet 5 times a week. So they're allowed 7 absences, and in the 8th absence, they've lost credit. We really encourage parents to make appointments for their students on Mondays. That's why we have Mindful Mondays. We're only in school 4 days. Let me explain now what's happening this year. You are able to make up time for loss of credit, but it is not where you can miss 50 days and then do 50 hours for that particular class. It's only up to 20, and then it's by their courses. So if they miss, like, just let's use first period if they have an English class, and that seems to be the one that most students miss because it's morning, right? If they miss 20, then they have to go back and make 13 hours up of that English course doing the work of English. That does not mean, though, that they get to make up the 13 hours and then get more absences. Once they hit 21, it is a loss of credit. They will have to retake the course. And as I said, all seniors and juniors, but all seniors have been given their transcripts. And if you look at their transcript, if there's an asterisk next to a grade, they've lost credit for that because of attendance. So they could have an 86, but they still have to retake that class because of the attendance. They will fill out financial aid forms. Most of our seniors are in a class with Miss Avila. She is our college guru. So she's already started with the students, filling out applications, getting them started. So if you are not going to fill out the FAFSA or the TASFA, then you will have to fill out an opt-out form. It's just a form that will be given that you're saying you don't want to do that, and that's okay. The CPR and peace officer training will be done in the spring. Our nurses carry that on, and then the sheriff's department does the peace officer training. At the end in the spring, seniors will be given a checklist just to make sure that everything they had, like the FAFSA, the peace officer, CPR, everything that they need to graduate.
I've got a question in regards to the CPR.
So I'm sorry, only because I was told. We're going to do questions, but at the end. Sorry. So not because I don't want to answer. Okay, and there is the 3 counselors. Ms. Villarreal does the early college dual credit EMT PCT program. I do seniors and juniors, and then Ms. Lozano has 9th and 10th grade. And our emails. I just want to go back to something Ms. Cruz said when she was asking you all to update your information with phone numbers. Can you please also update your emails, because that is how I send out a lot of information. I like to put parents on the emails with the students, and a lot of times they come back to me because it's not a working email. So if you can update that as well when you're doing your updates. And then questions, sorry, will be at the end.
It was in regards to the CPR, since my son is taking the classes with Miss
Damo?
He's already
Right, so we'll have that, don't worry. Yeah, so she'll give that to us, the ones that are at their EMT, PCT courses, and we just mark it on there, because we put the date in of when they do it.
okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Jola, for the information provided to our parents, especially our senior, Mr. Cardona.
Thank you. Good morning. Welcome. I just wanted to thank you for letting me come up here, take a little bit of your time, and share with you some of this information. This information is a public service announcement that Texas School Safety Center, all the school districts, and local law enforcement are putting out together because they want to send out a message that school threats are no joke, are not going to be taken lightly. So let me go ahead and start with the video that Texas School Safety Center has put out to all parents and students, and then we'll talk a little bit about it. Go ahead.
Hello, my name is Kathy Martinez-Breitner, and I am the director of the Texas School Safety Center, and our mission is to help schools across Texas stay safe. I know you all want to feel safe at school, safe to learn, safe to grow, safe to be yourself. But when someone makes a threat, whether they mean it or not, it puts that safety at risk. Even jokes about threats can put everyone in danger. These threats can cause lockdowns, fear, and even result in arrest. School safety is our top priority, so we've created this video because we need your help to keep your school safe.
Threats to school safety are a crime, and they carry real consequences. Whether you tell a friend, write it down, post it on social media, or send a text, it can be illegal. It doesn't matter where you are, even if you're not at school, it can still be considered a crime, and you can be arrested. Joking about making a threat, or if you repulse a threat made by someone else, could also be a crime. Students who make threats could be suspended or expelled from school. If arrested, you can go to jail for up to 2 years and pay up to a $10,000 fine. Being arrested could prevent you from getting into college, getting the job you want, or from joining the military. If you get arrested, people may not trust you, and it could be harder to make friends. Student safety is your school's top priority. They are prepared to investigate any threat in order to keep you safe.
I get it. Sometimes people post things for attention or say stuff just to vent. But making a threat or reposting a threat, even as a joke, is never okay. Many times, we share things on social media or with our friends, and we don't realize that it can spread fear and panic. When we share threats instead of reporting them, we make the problem worse. If you see something that sounds dangerous, don't keep it to yourself. Tell someone you trust. That could be a teacher, a coach, your principal, officer, or a parent. It is our responsibility to help keep our schools and friends safe. So speaking up is how we stay safe, and it isn't snitching. It's protecting your friends and yourself, even if it's your friend who made the threat. Your school has rules that protect you, so no one knows if it was you that reported it. Don't let a temporary feeling negatively impact the rest of your life.
On behalf of all Texas law enforcement, threats are no joke.
Threats are no joke.
Threats are no joke.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't share it.
Don't share it.
Don't share it. Report it.
Okay, so as we can see on this video, just one single text message can escalate and generate chaos, fear, confusion. So what we're asking for all parents is to help us out to make the students understand that school threats are not a joke. Okay, we gotta understand that in this society, in this world right now, there is not such a thing as just a joke. When it comes to threats about school violence, school safety, or harms to others. So whether they're spoken out loud or they're sending a text, threats, real or fake, can lead to legal consequences, school discipline, and have lasting effects on the student's future, including college and the military eligibility. So this is what Texas School Safety Center wants parents to know. The jokes are offhand remarks like, I'm going to kill him, or I hope she dies. Anything of that sort, even though it is not technically a threat, it can still lead to a lot of consequences, a lot of questioning, a lot of other ripple effects that they will take. So we need to make sure that our students understand that saying those things are not jokingly, sharing or reposting threats on social media, even without knowing if they're real, is dangerous. It can also lead to consequences. What we ask is for them to help us by reporting it, not reposting it and sending it to other people, but to report it to somebody they know, somebody they trust. Our school district, it has an anonymous reporting option in our website, and if they feel comfortable reporting that threat in there. So instead of spreading it, just reporting it so that we can all check it. Remember, it's not being a snitch, it's being responsible, is doing, trying to keep everybody safe. So like I said, how can you help us out? Talk about your child, about the difference between joking and threatening language. Encourage them to think before they post. They text or they say something that could be misinterpreted. Remember, once it's out of there online, it's there forever. It cannot just be deleted or taken back. Okay. Reinforce that message. Don't do it. Don't share it. Report it. But not our process for reporting. Like I said, we have the anonymous reporting option in our website. You can go to any adult that they trust, a coach, a teacher, the principal, security. Remember that together we can create safer schools by helping our kids understand that threats, even the ones they think they're harmless, they're not a joke. And I do thank you for your time and for letting me come and give you this information.
Thank you, Mr. Cardona, for that information. We do ask the parents to share this information with your students because things do happen, and we just sharing this information just to avoid something like this to happen at our district. This is all the information that we have for you. I want to thank Ms. Jula, our San Elizario High School counselor, for the information that she provided for our parents. Mr. Cardona, again, thank you for the information that you just provided. And I want to thank all the administrators and leadership personnel that is here with us this morning. But most of all, thank you, parents, for making time for being this morning here with us. All this information is going to be shared to all those parents that were not able to attend. We're going to send it through our follow-up newsletter, and this information will get to you. Again, thank you for being here with us this morning. Please stay so we can do the question and answer session. Thank you.